Hey, what's up, people? This is the watch list video for Wednesday, May 4th. Quick note, the FOMC announcement is tomorrow. And I don't really like trading post-announcement, especially in today's day and age when the announcements mean something. We went several years where everything was already expected and known, but things are sketchy again, so could get some volatility after. And then the sad thing is, leading up to it, a lot of times you get a dead day, or dead morning. But even look at today, there's the opening 5-minute candle, and pretty much sideways chop all day, which is not uncommon leading into an FOMC day. So I don't love FOMC days because you get it again, as I said, a dead morning, and sometimes for me, untradeable chaos in the afternoon. So I'm not in love with it, but anyway, as dead as today was for the overall market, pretty proud of the teamwork in the room. I'm part of the team, and I called BLTE over 11. It was on our morning gap playlist. It had only been trading for a couple days, then it was gapping up. So I put it on the morning gap playlist. I thought I saw this spike up to 11 on a little bit of extra volume, so I put this idea in the room, which said exactly BLTE back over 11 idea has stacked catalysts above, parentheses, today's high of day and yesterday's high. So if you get through 11, whole number inflection point, you got the earlier high of day, just 11.15, and yesterday's high, 11.71. So that was my idea, and there's the break, and it never even came back to the 11 entry, which you got to love. It almost did late in the day, but I mean, for the run, it never even really looked back over its shoulder and fulfilled everything I was looking for, and then some, right? So from $11, it went to $15.65. On probably about, to be fair, the way it was trading, 30 to 40, 50 cents risk at the most. I wouldn't let it go below 10.50 if I got, the 11 fill and then it started to come back down. So I was probably willing to give it about 50 cents. But ended up being a really nice trade for me. Probably my biggest trade of the day. BWV. I posted a video about this because I thought it was pretty cool. So BWV does this. It just rips on volume, tops out right around 5. And let me see. Clinton B, I think it was, posted the idea, basically I'm watching this flag back over 5. I'm paraphrasing, but something like that. There's the 5 break, and it goes up to almost 560. And then shortly after that, Alan H says, whole number flush as it starts to come back down, meaning below 5 in the 5's buy zone. And what does it do? It comes down and goes to 493. So if you had a bid 494 or over, but below 5, you got filled. That was a really neat call. And look at that. You get Alan H's idea. Say you got 497. It went to 712 from there without ever looking back over its shoulder. So that was just a great example of the teamwork in the chat room. I think I actually took a screenshot, if I can figure it out. Yeah, there, I'm sliding it up. I screenshotted Clinton's idea, and you see the break, and they're time stamped. They were before they triggered. Same with Alan H's. It was on the way back down. Love the teamwork. Bttx is another one I called. And remember, it was on the, let me go to the daily real quick. It was on the, I'll take today's candle out of it. It was on the overnight video list because it had that big pop yesterday. So now let's fast forward and look what it looked like. So it gapped down and then runs for a little bit, puts in its early high at 180. And then as the volume started to come in, I called it opening range breakout, which had been over 180. I think what I called it, though, it was like 177. And I said could be a Tokyo, right, in anticipation of the break. Anyway, if you got it anywhere from 175 to 180, it flagged for a little bit, never even went down a dime below your entry, though, and went all the way up to 245 at one point, which is a really nice percentage move. And then lastly, another one I called was Aprn. I'll go back to the daily chart to show you why. Remember, it was on the video last night because of the big volume and a fairly strong close. Fast forward to today, what it looked like at the open. And it looked about like this. There's the early 5-minute high, which was 416. My idea, I called an opening range breakout with yesterday's high not far above as another potential catalyst. Breaks 416 and then it slowly climbs all the way to 490. So that's a 74-cent move on a $4 stock with about a 20-cent risk that didn't look back at that either. So really, really nice day today. What are we watching for tomorrow? Here goes. BLTE, again, it's only been trading for 3 days. And, I don't love the fact that it went up here and closed this far down from the high. So now you got a lot of bag holders from today. But it made such a nice move for us that it doesn't cost me anything to put it on a chart. So I will watch it. OST, which was this crazy one that went public. It looks like it opened at 10.10 on opening day and went to 40. The next day, it went to 47.79 before the bottom. You want to talk about the bottom falling out of something. In one day, it went from 47.79 down to a low of 390, right? And then a couple more days lower. And then today caught some volume. So I added it to the morning gap playlist right before the open because I saw it popping in pre-market. I think Wayne called a late day trade right about here. I mean, there was only a couple minutes left. I didn't take it, but I saw some people celebrating that too. Anyway, long story short, biggest volume ever on the 5th day of its trading. So we're going to watch for a follow-through day tomorrow. BWV, I talked about this one already. Biggest volume day ever. And remember, this man at one point was over 90, and really not that long ago was over 60. So it may have a follow-through day tomorrow. So we're going to watch that one. GNS is just, let me go back to BWV, a recent IPO that got decimated and then had a big day. So as stupid as traders are, and I'm counting myself in that group, GNS, also a recent IPO, got decimated, and people were talking about it today. You can see 5-minute candles, see the volume that came in the afternoon. Pan out a little bit. So as a trader, I'm going to watch it. All right, it's a sympathy to BWV, even though I'm sure they're not even closely related in industries other than they're both recent IPOs that got decimated, right? Anyway, Redbox RDBX has been on fire today. Finally gapped down, put in a red day. I'd like to see another red day before I really like it as a bounce play, but I am going to put it on a chart tomorrow. Nvidia, this is kind of obscure, but it seems to have found a bottom, NVDA. And AMD reported after hours. There's the daily on AMD. As I'm talking, it's trading at 95.34. So AMD got a big stock in the chip sector that obviously beat earnings or beat expectations or beat something because it's gapping up. So you can watch that one, but I'm choosing to watch Nvidia, which I think back through 200 tomorrow maybe might get going too, especially if AMD starts ripping. So anyway, I'm watching the NVIDIA. HOWL had a nice pop back here all the way to 755, then went down into sideways nothingness, as I call it. But then about, 4 days ago, popped to 537. Looked like it was rolling back over. Next thing you know, today right back up, high of 518 today. Over today's high, that might be enough to push it through this 537, and then maybe people start looking up here for the next target. So anyway, it's a decent looking chart. I'm going to watch it. ENVX, big move today, big volume. We're going to see if it gives, closing off its highs, but we're going to watch for a follow-through setup tomorrow. DWAC, kind of obscure, but it had a nice little 3-day run here, and then the gap up. And since the gap up, it hasn't broken its early high in 3 days, back down to the 8-day. So I am putting it on bounce watch. CYN, massive move. Now you got a red day and another red day back down to the 8-day. I'm putting that on bounce watch. ATER, kind of a quiet inside day today. Recent high flyer, I'm putting that on watch. And then lastly, RVSN. Let me double check if this is still gapping. This is on gap watch. Who knows? Maybe maybe they reported after hours. Maybe it's only gapping because it's another recent IPO that got decimated. I don't know. But in after hours, it's trading at $1.72. So a possible gapper tomorrow. I'm going to leave it at that. Quit babbling. I'll see you in the chat room in the morning. Have a good night.